So, we've all heard the story of the Ramayan, right? Ram's exile, Sita's abduction, the epic victory in Lanka. But what if I told you that the deepest roots of this epic, some of its most important stories, aren't in Ayodhya or Lanka, but are actually connected to the land of Bihar? Let's dive deep into this untold story. So let me ask you a question. Where did the most crucial events of the Ramayan, like Sita's birth or the very first meeting of Ram and Sita, actually happen? Now, if Ayodhya or Lanka popped into your head, hey, you're not alone. But by the end of this explainer, you'll see that the real answer is hidden in the soil of Bihar. Our story begins in Mithila, the kingdom of Raja Janak, a land filled with wisdom and dharma. It's right here, on this sacred ground, that the very first chapter of the Ramayan was written, the arrival of Devi Sita. There's an absolutely incredible story behind this image. You see, Mithila was suffering from a famine that had lasted for 12 long years. On the advice of the sages, Raja Janak himself decided to plow the fields. And as he was plowing the land at Dam, the plow struck a pot. Inside that pot was a divine infant, Devi Sita. You know, her name itself tells her story. In Sanskrit, Sita literally means the furrow made by a plow. Her very name is proof that she's a daughter of the land of Bihar, born from its soil. So, after her birth from the earth, the story now reaches a point where the earth and the sky were destined to meet. The narrative moves towards that one single moment that changed the direction of the Ramayan forever, the first meeting of Ram and Sita. This place is Fulhar, in Madhubani. There was a beautiful Pushpavatika here, a flower garden. Every morning, Princess Sita would come here with her friends to pick flowers for her prayers to goddess Girja. I mean, just imagine that serene atmosphere. And who else arrives in this very garden but Ram and Lakshman with their guru Vishwamitra? And they are just mesmerized by the beauty of the place. Tulsidas writes in the Rama Treatmanas, Bagu taragu biloki prabhu harshe, bandhu samet param ramya aram yahu, jo ram hi sukh det. In simple words, this means that, seeing the beauty of that garden and its pond, Lord Ram and Lakshman's hearts filled with joy. The place was so peaceful and beautiful that it gave even Ram himself a sense of aram, or deep comfort. And then, what was destined to happen, happened. While picking flowers, Sita's eyes met Ram's, and Ram's eyes met Sita's. This was that legendary first meeting. And the amazing thing is that Pushpavatika and that sacred bog Tarag pond still exist today in the village of Fulhar in Madhubani. People can still visit the very place that witnessed this divine love story. But Ram's journey in Bihar wasn't limited to just a love story. It was also the story of his dharma and his duty as a prince. He set foot in various parts of Bihar. First, at Ahilya's Than, near Darbhanga, he freed Gautam Rishi's wife, Ahilya, from her curse with just the touch of his foot. Then, in Buxar, he saved the sages from the terror of the demoness Tadka by defeating her. And finally, during his exile, when he received news of his father Dashratha's death, he went to Gaya and performed Pind Daan for him, fulfilling the greatest duty of a son. So that was all in the past. But how is the legacy of these events shaping the culture and future of Bihar even today? This is what's most important to see. I'm sure you've heard of Madhubani painting, but do you know its connection to the Ramayan? It's believed that when Sita's wedding was arranged, Raja Janak ordered the artists of his kingdom to create paintings on the palace walls. This was the birth of the world-famous Madhubani painting style. And today, to preserve that very legacy, the government is connecting all these sacred sites to create a Ramayan circuit. Take a look at this. This is a classic Madhubani painting depicting the wedding of Ram and Sita, an art form whose entire existence began with a divine wedding. Isn't that a beautiful connection? And this legacy isn't just in stories, it's a priority for the government too. The Bihar government recently approved a budget of over 882 crore rupees just for the development of Dam, Sita's birthplace. This amount clearly shows their commitment to preserving this priceless heritage. So what we've seen is that the Ramayan isn't just a story written in a book. It's alive, in the soil of Bihar, in its villages, in the memories of its people. By walking these paths of the Ramayan circuit, we're not just on a pilgrimage. Perhaps we can discover our history, our culture, and even ourselves in a whole new way. What do you think about that?